What is up, everybody? So we got lots of grapes on our yard and we are trying to figure out a way to use them. We got a little bit last year, so we made a little bit of wine. So this year we got quite a bit more, I think. So yeah, I figured I'd make a step-by-step video for you guys just in case somebody wants to make wine. And yeah, wish us luck. You ready, Aj? Let's do it. Just in case you guys, got extra apples, strawberries, pretty much anything, I guess, any fruit. The recipe that I'm gonna be doing is like the same for all of it. You can even mix it if you got lots of grapes or some grapes, some apples. I did last year. I mixed it a little bit, turned out good. So just for those of you, if you got different fruits, it works the same way. So step one, get your family outside into the fresh air to give you a hand and pick some grapes. Let's do it. We already picked a full bucket here. We got a couple more buckets filled already.
And Comet ate a bird, the whole thing.
That's not really for this video, but thank you. You want to help us too? No?
I know you will.
Okay.
Oh,
Somewhere in there?
Berries. I'll be super careful.
Okay.
Ew, that one's rotten. That's rotten. Got one good one.
Nice. In the bucket.
I know. Whoa, how's the... Dad?
Should we go clean them? Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I sit there? You're cute. You are a little cutie cat. Already. Let's clean some grapes.
I'm
Wash
trying to...
this out first.
Comet! Grapes away! Then.
Little green things.
You mean these?
Yeah. No, not those. Those can go in here. Just the little stems, like the branches.
Not these?
Yeah, those can go in there too. Just not the little green stems.
Ouch! Ow, they really hurt. It's kind of squishy. Look. Come here! Now look, she thinks this is a grape.
Yeah, dog.
Woo! Woo! Ooh, she is a strong dog.
Yeah.
What? Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping. You're such a good little helper.
You said such a little.
Oh, sorry. Such a big, good helper. So we got this bucket just about to the top full. And as you can see, we got another 3 more smaller buckets we still gotta go through. Man, oh man, this takes time. For those of you trying to make a quick bottle of wine, if you just do like 1 or 2 bottles, it might not take you as long, but wow, going through these takes a lifetime here. Get sick of it already, but started, so I gotta finish.
This one's yummy, right, Dad?
Right.
It's very yummy.
So much. What are you picking?
Pears.
Yeah. Are they delicious? Alright, so the next thing you're going to want to do is grab wherever you're going to be putting the crushed grapes in. Clean it well, sterilize it if you have something to sterilize, I just clean it very nicely with soap and rinse it, and just try and do my best not to get anything in there. And here I got a separate bucket. This one I'm going to use strictly just for crushing them. And then from here, then you'll be going in there. And yeah, that would be the next step. There's different ways of doing it too. If you wanna, I've seen somebody throwing these into a blender for a bit. I don't know how well that would work. But then you could you could for sure crush all of them. But I prefer to do it this way. It's easier to get the peels out after. There you have it. First batch is done. So, we found ourselves some pears. So I think we're going to attempt to just do the same process as what we did with the grapes. We're going to kind of wash them off and slice them and squish them. I will tell you guys, squishing pear is not easy. There's got to be a better way to do this, but we tried the blender. It's also not a good idea. So I think it's gonna be good enough. Some chunks in there, but I think it'll work. Here we go. Looks like a big old fruit salad. So in there we got grape and pear mixed together, and we got 2 buckets of those. They're both, I believe, 2.5 gallon. And up here I ordered myself 3 of these air breathers off of Amazon. They're cheap, very easy to use. I used them last year already and they work really good. And yeah, now we're gonna put them away for 24 hours. Okay, we are on day 2 here. So I've now let it sit for 24 hours. Next step, I grabbed this kind of yeast, Red Star. So what I do is I put it into a cup with room temperature water. I let it activate in there first for about 5 minutes or so. And what I'm gonna do, one of these packets does up to 5 gallons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate this into both of these buckets. Stir it in just a little bit. You don't even really need to stir it at all, but I do a little bit, and it instantly goes to work. So that's it for this step. I do have 1 5-gallon bucket of just grape wine. I didn't videotape it, but I'll show you maybe in the next step. But yeah, that is about it. So this is the type of alcohol tester that I use, and it works okay for me. I don't know how accurate it is, but it seems to work. It's LD Carlson company. But yeah, the way that it works is, you'll see here, percentage. So the way that it works, you got to test it at this stage where we're at right now, before I add the yeast in. What it does is it measures the sugar. So I just test this one, and it measures to about 9%, which is right here. So the way that it works is that sugar right now, so in 6 days it should be testing 0. So all of the sugar that went in there, that is in there currently, is going to turn into alcohol. So what's going to happen is in 6 days, if I test it, it should be at 0. Then I know I got 9%. So I'll try this again in a couple days, make sure that everything works out. I'll test it again with this at the end of the fermenting. And yeah, that's it for now. Okay guys, I am back again. So the next step, we are in the process of fermenting. I know it looks pretty gross, but what you want to do is at least once a day. You're supposed to do it up to 3 times a day. But if you have a job like I do, it's kind of difficult to do, so once a day works for me. If you have more time, do this up to 3 times a day. Make sure that all the peels and everything gets wet once, because if you leave them, they're gonna end up molding up there and rotting. It's something you don't want in there. So if you do this at least once a day, you prevent that from happening. And yeah, and that's about it. And that's what you should be seeing. Okay, so next up, we're gonna squish some grapes. So now that we've been fermenting them for 6 days, been stirring them every single day, making sure that there's nothing getting old in there. Now we're gonna sieve out all the peels and all the seeds and everything, and then yeah, so the way we're gonna start doing that is with just a sieve at first, get all the peels and everything out, and after we get that done, we're gonna put a cheesecloth in here, and then do it again, and then put a new double, triple cheesecloth in there. Keep doing it until it's clean. Until it's clean enough for us. And that is it. Once we go through them all like this, you gotta do your job. Oh. There we go. Thanks, baby. And that is how we do it as a team, right? Now I just need Mason to come back and help me. Quick, Mason. Quick, watch, she's still videotaping. Come on. Okay.
Try to not get my pajamas wet. These are my pajamas.
Okay, I won't.
This one is hard to work.
It is, yeah.
I just get to hold it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, keep holding it. Thank you.
That was a long time. That was yours. I'm tired. Maybe I'm gonna have a nap. Then how is it going now? Then how is it going? Only food can't go in there.
Yeah.
Because it's hard.
Alright, so this is our pear and grape together. This one looks a lot more gross. I've never done this before, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. But it smells good. So hopefully it turns out good. And we got 2 of these little 2.5 gallon buckets full, so it's another, should be another 5 gallon. Hopefully it turns out. Okay, so we had 9% sugar in this off the bat. Now let's see where we're at now. So we are now at 0%. So that means we have exactly 9% alcohol in this wine right now, which is exactly what we were looking for. So that's perfect. Alright, so next step, once we got our wine all sieved through, we got everything out of there. It's to the alcohol level that I prefer. Next step is adding these. So I got these from my local winemaking store. First I add one of those. I put it into a measuring cup, add a little bit of water, stir it up, pour it in, and then I give it like 15 minutes or so just to activate a bit. And then secondly, I put in the sulfite. I do it the same way. Put a little bit in the, or put one of these packets per 2 gallons, or sorry, per 5 gallons. And I add it into one of these cups as well with a little bit of water. And I pour it in. What this stuff does is, if there's still any active yeast in there at this point, this is gonna stop it completely, so it won't keep fermenting. Because at this point the wine is not sweet enough for me. So what I'm gonna do is add more sugar, and if there's still active yeast in there, it'll keep creating more alcohol. Since I'm satisfied with my alcohol, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that in there. That stops the yeast, and I can add as much sugar as I want, but I still don't trust putting it in bottles right away. So I'm still gonna leave it in this bucket with the breather on top for at least another couple more months before I bottle anything. Because if you bottle them at this point right after, some people do if they trust it. I don't really. You have a chance of blowing up bottles if you do it right away. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it in this bucket for another couple more months, and then from here it's gonna go straight into bottling. So yeah, that's gonna be the next step. Okay, so now we're on to sweetening it. Now that we're done with killing the yeast. So what I did, I had 10 gallons of wine. It's now down to about 7. So what I did is I took 1.5 bags of this, which is a 2 kilogram bag. 1.5 bag. What I did is I put it in, I believe I put 16 cups of water in here. It might be a little bit too much, but that's what I did. Stirred it up real nice, boiled it for at least, I would say at least 3 minutes. Make sure that it's nice and clear. As you can see in there, it's like, it's not milky at all. It's nice and clear. So that's what you're looking for. That way everything is dissolved in there. So what I'm gonna do now is I got my wine here. So that's the grape wine, and that's the pear and grape. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start mixing it in there. I'm gonna keep tasting until I'm satisfied with my with the sweetness of it, and then put the cap back on, stir it up real good, and put the cap back on. Put it away for another couple months. But after this, you don't need to do nothing to it or with it after until it's ready to go in bottles. So yeah, and just a heads up, there's a reason why there's not many videos on making wine with pear. It is an absolute pain in the bottom, so I recommend you never doing it. But if you want to give it a shot, by all means. I started off with 2 of these buckets full, and I ended up with 1, maybe 2/3 full now, and that's all I'm gonna get out of it. And it's still kind of milky, which I don't really like, but it'll settle yet. There'll still be some that's garbage in there, but I'll be able to use some, I think. I don't know how it's gonna taste still, but we will find out. So with the with the pear in there, it makes it so saucy. It's not worth it. So just a heads up. Alrighty guys, so for the final step, obviously this isn't one of the bottles that I made just now. This is one of the ones I made last year. But just to finish this video off, so the last step that I showed you guys is for the secondary fermenting, that you guys can do as long as you want. So yeah, after that, just get yourself a corker like this one here. It works great. I tried doing it by hand, which I thought I was going to be able to do, but that was crazy to even attempt it. There's no way I'll get the corks in without it. So yeah, go spend a couple bucks on that, and yeah, bottle the wine out of those buckets. But I will recommend, instead of using buckets for secondary fermenting, it is better to use the carboys, which is like a big glass bottle where you can actually see through, because there is going to be stuff settling to the bottom. Once you go to pump it out into bottles, you can prevent getting that stuff out if you have something see-through. So I recommend doing that. I don't have those, so I just use a bucket. It works too. So yeah, that's gonna be it. It's the end of this video. So if you guys like this video, give it a like, subscribe if you feel like it. I don't really care if you do or not, but yeah. If you want to see any more videos like this, let me know in the comments. Yeah, enjoy your wine.